Okay, so, I don't know why, but for some reason, I had this in my inventory. Whatever. I'll go ahead and have it on me for the time being. Also, I was checking something else. I took a moment in between vids to double check the mod site, Nexus Mods, of course, to see whether or not there were any mods that were specifically about dealing with the run animation. Because, well, let me just go ahead and show it to you. You see that? Yeah, let's just say that I'm not too fond of this running animation. It's similar to Shepard's running animation, which is why I made sure to actually go find a run animation mod to change it, but sadly there really wasn't any. However, there was a couple to change the run speed. Whee! Now Hawke runs much faster. She is the Flash! Let's just say this is going to pay off when we get to places like the Wounded Coast. Oh my gosh. That's one of the reasons why this game started to kind of like, or I was just like, oh gosh, because of the running around places like the Wounded Coast and the times you had to run around in there and the territory and running slow, it just became just kind of a slog. Like, oh gosh, I gotta run through here again. However, if I can run faster, it's actually all of a sudden now not as bad. Because if I'm running this fast on the Wounded Coast, we'll get through there in no time. So, hey, now it's going to make getting through some of these things a little easier and less of a chore. So let's let Bartra know that we're going to be joining as a partner.
Where did you get off to? And what are you planning?
Bartrand, so suspicious. I have in fact brought us our future partner.
What? Partner? You stupid nug-humping dirt farmer. Why did you go promising something like that?
Because if we don't get this expedition moving, brother, then we won't have any profits to argue about, will we?
Maybe you have a point.
Glad to see you're finally seeing some sense.
I'd prefer to see some coin. That all in Varric's head, or do you have any?
That seems like a lot for an expedition.
We're going lower into the deep roads than anyone's ever dared. Who knows what we'll find down there? Well, that means food and equipment and hirelings. None of that comes bloody cheap.
Are we talking a full share here, or what?
If you have the coin, sure. You'll get a full share.
You'll get your coin.
And how about you tell me when that happens? Until then, you're not much of a partner.
Relax, Bartrand. Have I ever let you down?
You don't want me to answer that.
Alright, so we have a couple things to go check. Before we go see Aveline, at the height of Tevinter Imperium slave trade, Kirkwall's elite prospered beyond dreams of avarice. Hightown was built for the wealthiest slavers, its glitzy mansions rising atop a great wall of rock that borders on one side the waking sea. Lowtown cowered on its other side until Kirkwall's slaves rose to plunder and destroy Hightown's riches. Today, Hightown's prominent buildings are the Keep, home to the ruling Viscount and the Chantry, home to the Grand Cleric and the city's religious center. Both are converted estates that once housed wealthy magisters rebuilt and converted after the uprising. You know what, for story purposes, let's actually just go ahead and head for Aveline now, before we encounter Sebastian.
They'll let anyone into Hightown.
Screw you, lady.
You don't seem to like...
Oh, I'm sorry. I cut them off, I'm sorry. One of the things I do love in this game, and I mean love in this game, is the banter. The banter between the companions and the party members is wonderful. I love it so much. Hierarchy of the Circle.
Messiah, please stop kicking the wall.
Who are you to talk to me like that, you bloody peasant?
The guard who'll throw you out if you kick that wall one more time.
Don't you just love nobility? Oh, how dare you talk to me, you peasant?
You're in my light. Do I come to where you work and stand in your light? Good day, Sarah.
The Enigma of Kirkwall.
The office of the Viscount is not open to the public, especially recent arrivals not actually part of the public.
There are some really snobby people here in Kirkwall.
Don't touch anything. I've arranged all of the papers alphabetically. Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
I just walked in, so clearly you don't know how to walk in. The guard? Hey, Aveline.
Strangely, this is the best place in the city for working shell games and changing forged coins.
Aveline!
Hello, Hawke.
Nice to see I'm missed.
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, let's just say I don't want to lose track of you. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
I'm a Ferelden in Kirkwall. I don't have much say in who I deal with.
Bust some teeth, then buy the drinks. It worked here, but guards can be strange like that.
You have a unique charm, Aveline. I doubt the same would work on the dwarf.
If you're stuck, at least bring me along. I could sleep through the jobs I'm given here. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
Would you hear me if I said yes? How close I hold my memories is my own business.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Kalen.
It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. You and Carver must have felt something similar. I don't know if that's right to say. I barely knew him.
I don't dwell on it. I guess we had that in common.
Then I would have liked him.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing?
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter, though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
Do you have a name or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. I just thought you'd like official sanction to cause trouble for once.
All right. Let's go break some necks for the greater good.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
Messiah, please stop kicking the wall. Guard will throw you out.
Okay. We will go do that in a bit, but this is obviously the thing I really want to go to right now, so... We'll also go to the Black Emporium later. To Lowtown! Such a lovely place, isn't it?
You show admirable restraint, Bethany.
For a mage, you mean?
I could also say for a hawk. But yes, for a mage.
You have a sword. Why aren't you killing someone right now?
Fair point, but I can put my sword down.
Believe me, I have tried.
Yep. We'll be paying a visit there later. Doesn't have to be right now.
My. If it isn't Hawke. Elegant. Lady elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still working for that brutish thug, Mirren. Things have been going well since then?
Is there something you're interested in?
You may recall I supplied the Red Iron with potions. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
This is yours, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought this was last. Perhaps it should be. But that does not diminish your kindness.
Shut up, you. You hear about the Amaranthine traitors?
Who?
Some harebrained nobles in Amaranthine were conspiring against the Warden Commander. A truly stellar idea, if you know anything about him. We caught most of the conspirators, but a few fled by sea and came here. We're offering a bounty.
And the city guard is all right with me killing foreign nobles?
We tried getting permission. Lots of bowing, lots of flowery phrases, and a great deal of nothing from the Viscount. I came here to do a job. So if the Viscount gets his precious feelings hurt, he can take it up with the Warden Commander.
Sounds like the Warden Commander could be deposed if he's not careful.
True. The Amaranthine nobles are still a trifle upset about the whole burning down of their city. But the farmers and rural nobles think the Warden Commander can do no wrong.
Tell me what I need to know.
Here's a list of names and descriptions. Anytime you end one of the bastards, let me know and I'll reward you. Better act fast, though. We're looking for them, too.
So yeah, even if you do other certain side quests and such differently in Origins, it actually affects quests that you get here in Dragon Age 2. Okay.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest.
I think this is the same cheese that was here a year ago.
Gamlin, payment is now 2 months late, Sirrah. Interest accrues, as you are well aware. You'll find yourself barred from our establishments until payment is made. Think, no better card sharp or numbers runner in Kirkwall will deal with you. I certainly hope this matter is attended to before steps are taken. Let's avoid further unpleasantness. Gallard.
I feel itchy just looking at that thing. Looks like the dog's trying to tunnel his way out of this hovel. Can't blame him.
Hawke, you were a pain in the arse to deal with, but a bloody talented one. If you get sick of being just another unemployed refugee in this... maybe we can grab a drink. If there's any odd jobs my boys can't handle, I'll send them your way. You're welcome, Mirren. Greetings. You do not know who I am, but I have heard of you. I understand you might need items from my collection, as well as the means to obtain them. But I do not extend this invitation to anyone. But you are not simply anyone, are you? Consider this an invitation to the Black Emporium. Enclose the directions through the passages underneath the city, as is the charm to enter. If you give the charm to another, its permission will immediately be revoked, and the consequences will be unpleasant. Adieu, Xenon.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
Why was nothing set aside for us, Uncle?
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Just as a reminder, the human mage that we play in Dragon Age Origins is an Amel. So there's a connection here between the hero Ferelden and Hawke as actual family if you play a human mage in Origins. And I can't remember if there's specific dialogue here acknowledging that the hero Ferelden was also an Amel. I'll have to check, but I remember that when you create your characters in Origins, because they give you a default last name tied to the story, that the human mage has the last name Amel. And I remembered, wait a minute, that's the family that Hawke is a part of in Kirkwall. So I just always thought that was rather amusing that they had a connection there if you chose to play that.
Take me to the vault.
Can't. It's in the cellar of the estate. Someone else lives there now.
You didn't take your parents' will?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlin? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
I love how he's just like, look, it's horrible and just get used to it. Don't try to do anything better, just accept it. That's what I've done. Why don't you?
So, I hate thinking badly of family. But did Uncle Gamlin seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will? If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
I want what's ours.
Good. I'm glad we agree. Gamlin told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice. Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers from all over Thedas.
Good. Then we can break in, and I don't care if we kill them.
I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlin said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath the house.
Alright, let's see here. These are some of the promotional items as well. Ah, yes, of course. This is obviously going to be an issue here where I have full inventory and can't really do anything about it, except use my storage chest here. No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. So, this is the reason we're playing a two-handed warrior. Yes, that is Frostmourne. So, this is part of a mod that added a lot of various different weapons to the game here. Some great swords, various different types of weapons. This is a Fire Rune Blade. Warden Commander Sword. I mean, a lot of them are pretty cool. This is Fenris's Scythe. I'll give that to him later. Big Brother, just a big axe. Ebonite Sword. That looks really cool. Holy Sword. But then I saw this. And I couldn't help myself. How can I not play as a two-handed warrior wielding Frostmourne, which, by the way, obviously it does cold damage. It has attack, extra stamina, more damage against humans, 3 rune slots, and it improves with level up. So as we level, it gets stronger with us. So we don't ever have to change our weapons. We can just keep this on the entire game, which of course I'm going to. And forgive me, I prefer this type of system where rather than just changing our gear constantly as if it doesn't mean anything, I actually like having gear that I can be able to improve, have level with me, you know, make stronger. It's one of the things I loved about Legion with the whole artifact weapon system. I liked having one weapon and leveling it and improving it as we continued our journey together because I felt an attachment to it. I like that, you know, as opposed to, all right, this is done, and just toss it over to the side like it didn't mean anything, you know? There's also other, you know, things here, like there's I hate it when it puts the shield over, when I just want to simply look at the one-handed sword. You know, like, there is a, you can see there, that's Frostmourne, but it's a one-handed sword version of it. So, but there's also some Shield of the Undead. There's a Frostmourne shield that can go with it. So I could give this to Aveline. So, yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. There's also this right here. This is the reason why I considered actually playing a two-handed rogue. Because this, I can't put it on myself. I have to wait until we get Isabella. But those are the Warglaives of Azeroth. So I was debating, do I want to be a two-handed warrior and carry around Frostmourne, or do I want to be a dual-wielding rogue and carry around the Warglaives of Azeroth? Because you guys know how much I love Illidan. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Look. It's a little hard to see right there. There we go. Yeah, once we get Isabella and I put them on her, you'll be able to actually see them better. But yeah, I was just like, okay, you know. But when it came down to it, I was just like, okay, as much as I love Illidan and his Warglaives of Azeroth, I can't not carry around a two-handed Frostmourne. I can't pass up this opportunity. It's just too good, you know? Alright, so now I can go ahead and put on other armor here, which unfortunately, you know, as much as I love the Blood Dragon armor, I really wish that it actually would go ahead and level up with me. Because, and I don't know, it doesn't look, I'm not sure if I like the appearance of it as much, at least here on this screen, because I can't zoom in. I hate that I can't zoom in here. But I actually like how it looked in Origins more so than the other one. Now, as I was saying before, there is, as you can see here, if I want to give myself some armor that looks like Isaac Clarke. Now, you can see here it actually is more so suited if you were using Dexterity and Cunning, because it's more so if you're going to be playing as a rogue instead of a warrior. But look at that! That's Isaac Clark's armor, engineer suit armor from Dead Space 2. Look at that. So yeah, there was a number of these kinds of promotional bits going on at the time. So, which was like, hey, if you want to copy this, you get this in this game. This is something that EA was doing quite a bit around this time. I don't think they're doing it anymore. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, only because I didn't actually mind that idea. But anyways. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, and I'm going to mess around here with, actually, before we do that, though...
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
City life not agreeing with you? Poor thing. Maybe he'd be happier if we brought him with us more often. We might soon have need for a war dog.
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
So this is how we name our dog. I'm actually going to go with something a little different here. Typo there. Falcon, because we're Hawke. Shut up.
Wake up. You've got a job to do.
Get out of my face! Your mother's bad enough. I don't need you nagging me.
I always wanted to bring you children back to meet your grandparents. Now, I wish we'd stayed in Ferelden.
I will never truly feel at home as long as we are living with Gamlen.
Yeah. Well, we'll deal with that and do something about that later. Stay tuned.